Am I the asshole for refusing to hand over my phone to my boss to check the message that I sent? My female 26, 3-year-old son got sick and I had to take him into the hospital in the morning. I took an hour off work and texted my boss letting him know why. I arrived to work later and my boss requested to see me in his office. He started questioning me about being late and I told him I already sent him a text telling him why. He said he didn't receive anything, but I assured him that I sent it. He told me to hand over my phone so he could check, but I refused. I asked him to check his phone, but he again denied receiving anything and said there was no point in checking his inbox. He asked that I hand over my phone to see the text that I sent, but I still refused and suggested that I open the text and show it to him because I have private messages with my boyfriend. He refused to let me show him, saying I might be faking it, but I already have the time and date of the text. He got mad and insisted that I hand it over. I declined and said no, this is my privacy, and he does not get to violate it just because he has authority over me. He got more upset and told me to step outside. After making me wait for 30 plus minutes, he had his female assistant try to convince me to let him have a quick look, but I refused. The argument escalated, and I was told to go home till this is figured out. My boss is angry with me, and his assistant is claiming that it was such a weird hill to die on, and if I truly did send it to him, then I should just let him have a look. Am I the asshole? I mean, I offered him an alternative way to see the text, but he insisted on checking it himself. I'm an extremely private person, and the thought of him peeking at private, vulnerable conversations with my boyfriend makes me uncomfortable. My boyfriend thinks I should have just given it to him without making a scene. I don't know where OP geographically is. I'm sure there's some kind of employee protection law that prevents her from having to hand that phone over, and at this point, it's probably an attorney conversation. There needs to be a conversation with someone of legal counsel so that whatever protection exists there can be enforced. I'm a boss. I have employees, and I can't see myself ever asking them to hand over their phones. Now, if it is a business-owned device, sure, they have every right to do that. If it is not a business-owned device, they have no right to do that. It is private property, even if it's on the premises of the business. Now, the expectations for privacy while on premises are different, I believe, than when off premises. That does not mean that you have to hand over your phone and let them see private, vulnerable, perhaps even risque messages. There's got to be some kind of legal protection here, and I hesitate to speculate any further on it because right now it's a legal matter. Right now it is purely a legal matter. This feels like the equivalent of your boss asking you to hand over your diary. There's absolutely no way in hell that would be allowed. And you have to have some kind of protection from that question ever being asked in the first place. And the fact that he persisted as many times as he did means that you probably have a stronger case to be able to enforce some kind of protection here. Let's ignore the legal side of it for now to just look at the human side of it. Even then, no, you're not the asshole. It doesn't matter if someone has authority over you. You offered an alternative path, and the only part of his viewpoint that I understand here is wanting some kind of proof that the message was sent. And even that seems like a very corporate structure. I mean, with the small team that we have here, it's much more relaxed and much more of a family atmosphere. So, there would be a much more relaxed conversation about it. In a very corporate structured world, they may want some kind of proof if that message didn't come through, but they would never ask you to hand over your device. I cannot see that happening. Dude seems like a control freak dick.
I will not hand over my love letters to my betrothed so that you can just read them while you say you are looking for something else. I will not do that. Who did these letters come from, John? Who sent them? Who's that harlot writing my husband?
You wrote those letters, Moira.
I think I would remember that.
Totally unrelated, but recently saw that episode, so.
Sorry.
No, you're not the asshole. Sorry you had to go through that. Talk to an attorney.
Right? Meow.